Hey guys, my name is Ryan.
And my name is Mysca.
And welcome to Overwatch Central, and welcome to today's Brawl. It's a support one. All you can play is supports. The maps are mixed up, we played a couple on Control, and then I had this amazing game on Nirvana. It's really fun. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, actually, just playing all supports. Mysca, what did you think?
Yeah, it is definitely a lot trickier than I thought it would be. And what we sort of what it all came down to, and what we kind of realized after a while, is that it all comes down to chaining your ultimates together correctly. So one Lucio ult and one Zenyatta ult when that's over, and then one Lucio ult and then maybe a res if people have died, that sort of thing. And you really have to do that well, because if you accidentally pop two Lucio ults at the same time, that's not very good, and most of the time you'll end up dying at one point right at the end of the map. Everyone kind of popped their ultimates, but we hadn't really pushed it towards the end, so we didn't have an ult left, and that kind of just, we all kind of just died one by one after that. So yeah, we had to push again, had some more ultimates, and then we won. One thing that you actually forgot to mention that's pretty important as well is that you can only have two of each support on one team.
That's true.
So you can only have two Zenyatas, two Lucios, and two Mercies, or whatever. You get the point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, overall a lot harder than I thought it would be. Pretty fun, but it's so difficult if you accidentally don't chain the ultimates together correctly, or someone's AFK in spawn for a little bit or something like that. There's not much you can do on your own, and yeah, it's even more team play than usual, I'd say.
Yeah, we played it on Nepal and Lijiang first, which were pretty boring. We played a lot of brawls on Control maps a lot, and I think with this it's quite interesting to play a Symmetra on a fence on Nirvana. It was really fun to play, and the sort of teamwork, and because these heroes are all about more sustaining and protecting your team than actually doing damage, there was a lot of emphasis on who was best at protecting and healing their team. So it was more a battle of sustain and actual damage. But Zenyatta was very useful with doing a lot of damage, and so was Symmetra, if she could get full charge on her beam.
Yeah, Symmetra with a speed boosted Symmetra by Lucio is so difficult to catch. She'll just run around you with her left mouse button held down. You die pretty quickly because all the supports are pretty squishy and so on. So that's really what kills the Zenyatas most of the time, because it's difficult to hit someone that's just constantly running around you very quickly. But yeah, Zenyatas are the main damage dealers, Symmetra obviously as well. Even the Mercy pistol was handy at points, but yeah, most of the time Mercy is mainly there to, if someone's shooting another person on your team, you can just heal them through that damage.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it felt like most of the time in public matches, in normal Overwatch games, they'll just turn to the Mercy and kill her, but here that didn't really happen for some reason. And maybe it's because it's so hectic and people don't really know what's happening. But so that's what I found myself doing a lot, finding the person that was taking a lot of damage, just healing them through it, and I didn't really get focused that much at all. But it's interesting regardless. Pushing points is, it requires quite a good bit of coordination from both teams, definitely. And I don't think this really favors attacking or defending at all, but
on the contrary, I think it really sort of favours the defending team. Once they've got whoever's got the objective have the biggest advantage that once they had the control point in the control maps, it was just impossible to take it back from them.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
And once we got the payload, it was so difficult for the enemy team to take it back off us.
I guess it's because of Symmetra, really. Because you can't just run up and place 5 turrets, 5 sentry turrets at once. So if you're defending, you have time to set up. That's true. We did actually struggle a little bit on the control maps. Once they had taken it, once the enemy team had gotten in control of it, it was so difficult to get back.
It was one of those things as well where it's the brawls, the soldier one and the McCree one, were quite fun and didn't necessarily rely on your team as much, whereas this one, you completely rely on your team.
Yeah, that's correct.
I think it's the first Brawl that we've probably played where we've maybe got annoyed at our team for not necessarily playing well, whereas other ones we just don't really care.
It felt still like you were, it felt like a normal Overwatch game in the way that it was very sort of competitive and it required a lot of concentration and was very sort of intense, whilst a lot of the other Brawls are kind of you can do a bit of whatever, the McCree one, for example, you can jump around the payload and not get killed. The arcade one, you had so much health that you didn't really die very quickly, and there was a lot of that. But here you could just be taken out like very quickly, since the enemy team will pretty much always have 2 Zenyatas. That's what I found at least. Zenyatta was a very popular pick. Mercy probably the least popular, but still there obviously. I mean, you can only have 1 or 2, so it's hard to rate them by popularity, but 2 Zenyatas seem to always be a thing on both teams.
Yeah.
So Discord orbs are thrown left, right, and center, and yeah, it's pretty chaotic. But yeah, overall, what would you, since we did the ratings last time, you know, the from 1 to 10 rating, what would you rate it, this one?
What did I give? I gave McCree 6. I would give this a 7 or an 8, 7.5.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I think
it was funner, it was more compelling. We played like several games of it as well. It didn't get boring.
that's true, yeah, this one doesn't really get boring.
And just playing different maps with this different spin on it was good.
Yeah, payload was fun to play.
Whereas the soldier one, all on control, like the soldier one would be interesting if it was on a payload or a capture point. Whereas this, it's more, you know, it's the possibilities of playing games like that. And it's good practice to play heroes like Symmetra and so on and so forth. So yeah, I really liked it. I'll give it an 8 actually. I'll push it up to an 8.
Yeah, I was gonna actually say that I would push it up to an 8 simply because I probably didn't enjoy like our overall experience as much as I would have if we would have won more, because we lost 2 and we won 1. Yeah, it was difficult, but I'd say when I look back on it and I think about what it sort of included and how different it was from some other ones, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, that's probably about right. So yeah, that's our thoughts on the Brawl, and that's it, I guess.
Yep, hopefully you joined the guide that's gone out today. Awesome video coming to you on Friday, but that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more Overwatch content and to keep up to date with these Brawls as they come out. Take care, we'll see you next time.